Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Morja, and we're back for another episode of Black at Indie, where we are going to be highlighting some artists. And today I have Miss Candice, right?
Mhm.
All right, I have Miss Candice, and she's actually a new author. It's your first book?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, awesome. So just tell us about where you're from, how you got into it, and yeah, what's hot in your world right now?
Yeah, okay. I'll start off. I am a Chicagoan, born and raised. I just actually came back home after 4 years of living in DC, where I work
Huh?
for a couple nonprofits and a few PR agencies. So I absolutely love being back in Chicago with my family, and cheaper cost of living.
I know, right?
It's wonderful. My first book came out. It's available for pre-order right now. It's called A Black Girl Symphony in Poetry and Prose.
Okay.
And it basically outlines my journey through Black womanhood through the lenses of wholeness, celebration, legacy, love, and audacity. And it's also my love letter to Black women, all of us all over the world, the ones that I know, the ones that I'm close to, the ones that I don't know, but
Yeah.
also it pays homage to my mother who I lost last April.
I remember seeing that on his Instagram page. My condolences. Where did you get the title from? Symphony.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I was a musical kid. My mom was a jazz singer, and so music
Oh,
has always been a through line in our entire lives. My brother and I play three instruments, and just the title kind of came together organically because it honors those musical roots. You know, I play the violin, I play the saxophone, and just when I thought about Black womanhood, the first thing that came to mind that I knew this book had to do was be eclectic and speak to the eclectic nature
yeah,
of Black women. You know,
yeah,
I feel like even when we describe ourselves and when others describe us, I feel like we get the kind of same words like nurturing and,
yeah.
resilient. And we are so much more than that. And
Oh,
so
of
when
course.
I thought about that experience, I thought about a symphony and how there's not just one type of instrument in a symphony. There's woodwinds, there's brass, there's bass, there's
Yeah, you
percussion,
talking like you know something. All right.
you know? And so those all come together for this beautiful sound and that's just it, it's dynamic. It's not just one movement, it's typically two to three movements.
Yeah.
And so that's what I thought about Black womanhood, and that's how it kind of came together.
And it's so true because a lot of people think that just the black experience, period, there is just one black experience, and it's not. And I can say just from experience, like growing up in a single parent home, my mom had to wear all the hats, she had to do all the things. But when I got old enough to, I guess in a sense, take care of her, which I sort of don't, but just through love or whatever I can do, I see that. And anyway, as a child, you can help your parents. That's one of the most precious things. But seeing what black women have to do, because of course, we still live in a society where not all fathers are there with their children. So mothers, they have to, as they say, be the strong black woman. But even on the other side of that, being a strong black woman, there's so many. For example, we have something coming up dealing with women's health issues, mental health issues, because they have to assume all of these roles, and they just can't be. So yeah, it's definitely they would definitely be a symphony. I love that. And so, now, what instruments do you play, and do you sing too?
I do not sing. That was
Okay.
that's Peyton's thing. No, I play the saxophone, violin, and a little bit of piano, and
Mm,
a little bit of self-taught and guitar.
okay.
I'm hoping to pick up the soprano saxophone this year.
Okay, all right, I like that. So listen, anybody who can play any instrument, I love. Because I'm here at Notre working on my doctorate, but yeah, no, no, that's what's up though. And is your book geared to a particular age group or just for anybody?
It's truthfully for anybody to pick up. Wrote with Black women in mind. So this is not the type of book for an ally to pick up to, educate themselves or anything like that. You will learn a lot about
Yeah,
my own experience, but I wrote this for Black women specifically.
yeah,
And a lot of folks, who have already read it have told me to start marketing it to younger Black women because they
mhm,
feel like, it will help them in the forming and thinking of their identity. And
yeah,
so I love that. I didn't necessarily think about younger Black women,
yeah,
but yeah, absolutely. Because there's a lot of nuggets in here that it took me decades to learn. And if I could reach somebody
mm,
early,
yeah,
that would definitely be a beautiful thing because there's a few things in here that I had to learn the hard way in my early 20s, and like shattering some of the ideals, like Black girl magic, for example. Love that concept for us. However, I wanted this book to explain the fact that like we are amazing, but we're not magical creatures. Like we're
right.
we have to take care of ourselves. It shatters the concept that we should only be selfless. I actually have a few things in here in which I encourage us to be a little bit selfish and to prioritize ourselves. Because one thing that I learned last year is that when Kandice is happy, everybody else around me gets a little bit happier because
Yes.
I've taken the time to take care of myself. I can
Yep.
better show up for my family and my loved ones. So
That's so
yeah,
true.
I'm definitely hoping that some younger Black women pick this up, women my age, and just see themselves and feel seen and celebrated, and just enjoy the ride.
Yeah, yeah. If you could say, and that's a real good nugget because actually, before I go to my next question, I was talking to one of my friends about how we have this thing called Black excellence, which is great. I mean, be excellent as much as you can. But whenever we're trying to be excellent, does that give us the opportunity to make a mistake? Do we have to be excellent like every day? Because we already live in a world where we have to be twice as good, or we have to try to be twice as good. We have to work twice as hard as well too, and sometimes our work is still not valued. So I say that to say we're still human at the end of the day. Like, give us some grace. We have there's still some things in the past that we're dealing with and we're trying to work through so that way we can be our best. And it's hard whenever you're trying to appease the image that society has for you, and it's hard for you to just be. Once again, it's just going back to just being. Um, but let me
Yeah.
ask you this: do you have anything particular that you like most about your book? And I know it's sort of hard to say because you wrote the whole thing, but what is something that you want people to take away from it?
Something I want people to take away from it. Wholeness.
Hmm.
For Black women, to really celebrate all parts of themselves.
Yeah,
And that was the beautiful part of this journey for me, was just embracing every aspect of myself. The corporate Kandice, the PR Kandice, the comms Kandice,
mm,
the sensitive Kandice, the strong Kandice, the vulnerable Kandice. So
yeah,
just approaching that full wholeness, thinking of myself within the continuity of this Black girl continuum,
yeah,
thinking of
yeah,
my legacy, thinking of my roots. And then for non-Black folks and non-Black women, just once again, wholeness, and viewing us as total people, not just like that spicy friend or that strong Black woman or that independent woman who doesn't
yeah,
need it, like
yeah.
really seeing us, because not enough do. They don't see us
Yes.
fully for who we are, for our strengths, our weaknesses, our vulnerabilities. A lot of people don't allow room for that. And I thought that was beautiful what you said about Black excellence, because I love the term, and I love celebrating our people, and I love what the hashtag has become. But a
Yeah.
lot of times I just want folks to remember that sometimes I can be a little bit limiting, and Black excellence looks different ways. And we
Yeah.
have to remember when we're in this fight for Black people to realize our full humanity, to have our
Yeah.
full humanity realized. It's important that we remember that Black excellence looks different ways. It's not just corporate, it's not
Exactly.
just folks leading companies, it's not just within the context of whiteness or in the context of Fortune 500 companies. It's showing up for ourselves fully. It's showing up for our families. It's not about your bank account or what car you drive or your ownership or anything like that, or LLC Twitter.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's about like showing up for who we are as a people, and always putting that ladder back to help somebody along.
Yeah. Wow. I love that. You just said a whole sermon and I love it. You hit all the nuggets right there. So where can people go get your book? And when does it actually come out?
It will be officially released in about a week.
Okay.
Right now you can pre-order a copy through CandiceWrites.com/books, and it'll show you the link. It's through Politics and Prose. And for my DC folks, they can get the book at all Politics and Prose locations in the city. So it'll be on shelves in about 1 week. So
Okay, in about a week. All right. Well, definitely, we'll make sure to get that out there for you, Candice. I appreciate you so much for coming on, and we're looking forward to seeing how successful your book is, which I'm pretty sure it will be. Especially, I mean, you got the Black girl magic, you got the Black excellence, so you good to go.
yes, thank you so much for the opportunity to
Definitely,
chat through this. I really
definitely. Thank you so much, everybody.